Namaskar, good evening. You are watching me on PM eVidya channels and NCERT's official YouTube channel. We bring you the live telecast of Sahyog session in which we talk about mental well-being and mental health of our students class 6th to class 12th, and the topic of the discussion in today's Sahyog is coping with students related stress during the pandemic time. So this is the much important topic for discussion for all the students and the parents and guardians as well. We have two panelists in this discussion, Professor Balaida R. Dakhar from our northeastern region of Regional Institute of Education. So Professor Balaida, namaskar, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका.
Yes, very good evening to you, Mr. Rahul.
Thank you very much. And we have practicing counselor Mrs. Urvashi Datta Barua ji. Urvashi ji, नमस्कार, आपका भी बहुत बहुत स्वागत है.
Namaskar आपको, thank you so much.
Okay, so Professor Balaida, we have a very first question for you because this is the topic we are going to discuss. So what are the stressful situations that students might be going through as a result of this ongoing pandemic? We are seeing, we are practicing this now pandemic since 1.5 years.
Yes, thank you once again, Mr. Rahul, and a very good evening to all the viewers. So it is always a pleasure to be in this program. Before I go any further, let me begin by saying that the pandemic itself has caused very much worry. Number one, it has led to stress, anxiety, depression, and also grief among the students. So the current outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic has heavily impacted not only globally, but most importantly, it has an impact on the students' physical health as well as mental health. Having said that, the pandemic has thus caused significant distress around the globe. We should remember that it is not limited to adults only, but stress is increasingly affecting children of all age groups. So the pandemic has poses both direct and indirect threats to students' well-being, both as a direct contributor towards poor psychological outcomes, as well as the reduction in social contact that students now cope with. We all witness about this. You see, in the face of the global COVID-19 pandemic, schools in general and students in particular have confronted unprecedented challenges as they quickly shift classes to an online mode. We should see here that students are experiencing rising of stress levels and lower engagement with learning since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. So it has significantly worsened mental health of students. And meanwhile, the pandemic itself has led to student stress. And now that are these, just quickly, what are these stressors or situations which cause or lead to stress? Very quickly, I will not explain, but I will just point it out. These include personal difficulties, for example, conflict, arguments with family, being alone, worried, uncertainty about the future. Then comes the closure of the schools, where students hardly interact face-to-face with their classmates and teachers. Then we have shifting to online learning, then the physical distancing, fear and worry for oneself or loved ones, constraints on physical movement and social activities, sudden and radical physical changes, frustration, boredom, specifically isolation, engaging in online classes, frequent network failure. All of these have added to students' stress. So the pandemic has led students to separate from school, leading to separate from their peers and teachers. So this may cause them stress. So there are also emerging problems during the COVID-19 outbreak, such as conflicting family schedules, changing in eating and sleeping habits, separation from classmates and teachers, loneliness may have adverse effects on students. So therefore, the feeling of fear and apprehension about having or contracting the coronavirus itself may be a significant stressor for students too. So all of these stressors can cause mental health challenges for students. because virtual support services are not meeting students' needs at times. And because of, the face-to-face interaction is missing, and it is a different experience altogether. So there is this educational disruption which ultimately affect the students' community. So when they are stressed, they get unpleasant feelings like headache, neck pain, shoulder, etc., etc. Moreover, when they are stressed, they have changes in appetite, cannot focus, get angry easily, cannot sit still, have difficulty in sleeping, they feel sad, guilty, worry. So all of, feel tired. And in extreme cases, students may suffer from depression characterized by low mood, tiredness. So all of, these problems will come up. So undoubtedly, stress-related issues are the leading impediment to academic success or academic performance.
Right.
So it can affect students' motivation. It is related to academic concentration and social interaction. So all of these they are all crucial factors for students to succeed. So there is an urgent need to develop interventions, preventive strategies, and coping skills to address the stress faced by students. And what students need to do is to be able to cope with it. And we all need to help and support them. So this much, Mr. Rahul, on the question you asked me. Thank you.
Right. I think these are the points very much needed to be discussed on this platform for all the students from class 6 to class 12. Let us move ahead, and I think there is a main role of a counselor came here in this question. So Urvashi ji, the question is, what is the role of a parents and a teachers and a professionals like you, to helping to the students to coping up with this pandemic?
Yeah, right, Rahul sir. Actually, it's an unprecedented situation, right? We ourselves have never faced it. So it is quite difficult for us to actually find ways to help our children to cope with this situation, because we ourselves are also trying to cope with the situations. So basically what we have to do, because we are adults and the parents, the family members, teachers, and some professionals who are also working in this field, we are teachers, right? So in this situation, it will be like we ourselves have to make ourselves into role models. Like we have to show them how to behave. One of the most important point that I am trying to point out here is that many people, the elders, when we speak about the pandemic, we create a sense of fear. That should not be. We have to make sure that we have to tell them that, see, such and such situation also happened in the past, and it is possible to, save yourself. Their main stresses, two stresses are there.
Select camera, USB video device, choose virtual background.
Yes, so thing is this. You have to make sure that they are not completely frightened by it. Okay. Now the next thing is that we have to explain how to do social distancing exactly, and we have to demonstrate how to de-stress, how to focus. Okay. So these are the things that we are supposed to do. Okay. So now, may I continue, sir?
Please.
Yes. So it's like this, that as we help them to establish and maintain a daily routine, it is what has happened is school is no longer there. So since school is no longer there, their whole daily routine is disrupted. But as parents, as a family member, we should make sure that we give them a certain routine to follow. And this can be helped from the school side also, where they are having the online classes, to make sure that every school, whether it's for 2 hours, whether it's for 3 hours, they should make sure to give a proper timetable. The timetable should be given in a proper way so that the children can organize themselves in a way that they feel that the normal life is going on. So this is one thing. Then when you explain about the COVID-19 pandemic, about deaths, about why some people are dying, whatever explanation you are giving, you have to make sure that the explanations are according to their age. It should not be like you are over explaining it to them so as to create fear in their minds. Okay. Abhi, next thing is you yourself have to stay up to date. Okay. You have to stay up to date with the facts. Yes. So like you should know what the actual problems are going on with the COVID pandemic, like how it is spreading, what are the different variations that are coming. So all this you're supposed to know yourself. Then only you'll be able to guide the children. Okay. Up next thing is that you are supposed to please stay connected with the child's school. Don't forget that he or she, your child, has another place, has a community to go to. Okay, and that community is the school community, right? So make sure you are connected to the child's teacher, the child's school,
Right.
and most of all, make sure that you guide them in a way that they are also healthy in all other ways. Like in case they should not fall sick, because now what is happening is that I, as a teacher, as a counselor, I can see that if a child is sick even with a normal cold, they feel fear. Okay, so it's like that is happening, and therefore we should actually help them with a good diet and make sure that they exercise and do all those things which can keep the children healthy.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I think healthy in many ways. Maybe it is from their mind, from their body, from their mood. I think everything should be healthy. So let us move ahead, Urvashi ji. You as a counselor, you have seen so many cases in the 1.5 year, and you are helping to the students and the parents and the guardians as well. So what are the suggested strategies and skills which will help with the students related stress during this pandemic?
Yeah, first of all, for the parent side, make sure that you have normally, if you offer support, if you offer your concern, your caring about them, they will normally deal with some simple anxieties that come to all of us, correct? But there are certain signs which you must be very aware of.
Okay.
And the signs are like, suddenly if a preschooler, if a small child starts bedwetting at night again and becomes very clingy to the parents, okay, doesn't sleep well. So if you have to know these symptoms, which are the ones where you are supposed to seek for professional help. Means up to a certain extent, it is you yourself, you can handle it. But if you see these signs, then it is very intelligent, I would say, to actually go to someone who is more professionally able to deal with the situation. So there are certain symptoms which I have pointed out. So I'm sure you will be able to see, and like for adolescents, if they're agitated, if they're too irritable, if they have some physical complaints, and then if they're showing behavior like they're not concentrating well, and for the elementary school children, if they are saying that they have nightmares, they can't concentrate well, and they are not as active as with friends. So if you see all these symptoms, then I would suggest that at that point of time you should be going to some professional help. Otherwise, you can help them with the following measures, which I'm going to show you in the next slide.
Okay, please.
Okay, so first of all, this is a slide which was been issued by World Health Organization. This is one of the supportive things that they have done. Initially only they have done, because they have already realized that a pandemic situation, the quarantine situation, lockdown, all these are going to directly affect the children. So please show them a lot of love, a lot of support. They should feel that you are with them. Secondly, in case any of the children, they lose their close ones, or they have their parents are hospitalized, so you have to make sure that you are in connection with your children. They should not feel as if nobody is there in this world for them. So this is one thing. And of course, regularity of routine has also been mentioned by WHO, which is very, very important, where we are actually going wrong because school is not there. So the regularity of routine is also suffering. One more thing I would like to state here is that some other medical concerns are there. So do not avoid the doctors completely. Your child may be having some other medical concern, like immunization concern. It should be immunized, the measles vaccine. All other vaccines are also there, and they may need some oral dental treatment. So they may be suffering in other ways. So just because the pandemic is there, don't avoid that. You can go in for things like telecounseling. Now you can also have doctors counseling through your video conference as well. So please make sure that these things, that WHO guidelines are followed. Then apart from that, there are certain small things that everyone can be taught to do. Like what can they do? Like suppose you're not feeling okay. So there's some things are there you do, like you try to soothe yourself, our own senses, to make us ourselves feel very good. So what you can do is, like you can hold something, you can use a ball that's called a stress ball. Okay, you can just hold it, and you can feel that your stress will go to reduce. Like you can hear music. Then children can be taught to do meditation. Okay, so then like other things, like you can do a puzzle. So whatever the children do, they make sure that there is some kind of a break from that normal tediousness, those online classes all the time, because screen time has also increased a lot during this period of time. So they have to make sure that all the time, whatever other activities they do, it should be related not to the screen but to something else, like playing outside, or some just going out and finding out different types of leaves, whatever small things. Or if they have a pet, they can just play with their pet. Okay, and then one more suggestion I would like to give is that if the child can write, if the child is grown up enough to write, then please ask them to write a small journal about their daily activities. This is also going to help them in this pandemic. And finally, I would like to say that if a person has also gone through grief, because some of our children have very sadly lost their parents, lost their loved ones, and grandparents whom they loved a lot. So for them, it is very important to take care of themselves, to take care of their health, and they need to learn to practice the things like mindfulness. They have to learn to take care of themselves. Okay, so that's one that I would like to say. There are a lot of things to say, but in the short period
precisely of time, it is mentioned, I think. Yes, and I think there are so many things to be taken care for all the adolescents and our students. Thank you very much, Urvashi ji. You have taken a deep insight in this topic for us. Thank you very much for joining with us.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to thank to Professor Balaida R. Dakhar from our northeastern region of Institute Shillong NCERT. Thank you, Professor Balaida. And coping with students related stress during the pandemic session comes to an end now. Please don't go away, keep watching. We will be right back with the special session. So don't go away, keep watching PM eVidya channels and NCERT's official YouTube channel. Namaskar.